Hi, my name is Yiğit Mutlusham and I am a student at Web University majoring English language teaching. Though today I won't be talking about the English language, I made a research the other day about an experiment made by Minnesota University during World War II and I want to share it with you guys. So, by the end of the World War II, on 19th November 1944, 40 healthy men volunteered themselves for a medical experiment at the University of Minnesota. At that time, it was hard to find young and healthy men to volunteer for such things, since most of them, except ones with religious and moral reasons, were at war, and those who stayed were doing community services. After all, the government let those men volunteer for medical experiments. Out of 400 volunteers, 40 well-educated of them were selected for the experiment, the Minnesota Starvation Experiment. It was an experiment that focused on the effects of starvation and it basically had three stages. The first stage was called standardization, and it was a 3 month long period where those men were observed in non-stressful conditions. They've had a decent 3200 calories per day. They were even allowed to join the classes and activities at the university. The only difference they had from the students and teachers in the campus was that they all had the same clothes. After 3 months in February 1945, they changed things around a little and they began to the second stage called semi-starvation. Now those men began a new 6 month long period where they get only 1800 calories per day. And throughout this period, men only ate foods that can be found in Europe's war zones. With this diet, all the men were expected to lose around a kilogram per week, and within this period, all the men started feeling down, tired, unhealthy. They were getting upset a lot easier. They were feeling cold in the middle of the summer. Some of them started to lose some of their hair. Food was an obsession for them since those moments. It wasn't the good times. And after a tiring and horrible 6 months, in July of 1945, they started the third period called nutritional rehabilitation until October 1945, where those men were expected to walk more than 35 kilometers a day and gain about 3000 calories. However, the food and exercises weren't enough for them to recover right away. For a while, their feeling of hunger was still there, and yet they kept feeling dizzy. So, after the experiment came to an end, the research team published their results for academic journals. And then it's been known that starvation wasn't only something that is physical, it was also something mental. Men had their foods at the end, gained their physical health back, but their brains and thoughts were still at a point which was not healthy at all. So this was a tough experiment for the volunteers, like any other experiments, especially during a war. But on the positive side, this experiment also helped the government's economy for the war. The soldiers were under a bit easier conditions through the end of the war because of that. Yeah, and this sums up the Minnesota starvation experiment for us. This was an experiment that I found interesting and I want to share with you guys. Thank you all for listening and goodbye.